Hello, what's up, Steem? I was reading a article today by ATS David. It's a really good piece talking about Steem and why Steem is lagging behind the rest of the cryptocurrencies, in terms of getting some of that pump that's going on at the moment. And the kind of long and short of it is that he felt that Steem could do with some more marketing and promoting, and the message that we should be marketing and promoting should be around the virtues of the coin, i.e. that it has zero transaction fees and it has lightning quick confirmations, 3-second confirmations. And while I agree with this, I think it's true. At the same time, I think the nature of the cryptocurrency market is such that marketing doesn't always translate into buyer pressure, or to put it more bluntly, in my view, the reason why I think Steem won't be treated the same as current other cryptocurrencies is because virtually all other cryptocurrencies are at this stage based on speculation on what they might be in the future, whereas Steem has utility now, and it's a lot easier to pump a promise than it is to pump reality. And also with Steem's utility comes a lot of scrutiny. So if you're pumping some of these other coins that are being pumped, you can do that pretty anonymously. You can do that with very little scrutiny. However, if you tried to manipulate and pump Steem to the same degree, it would be a lot more difficult, and you have a lot more people bringing that to the spotlight and bringing that to the public's attention. So I just think that, Steem is just a unique case, which is why I treat it differently, which is why I don't treat it as part of my crypto portfolio, because in many ways it's a lot more advanced in terms of where it is. But being advanced in this space doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be valued more. And look, I'm realistic. Just because Steem, I think, has an edge on technology now, doesn't mean that A, others can catch up, and doesn't mean that B, the market gives a damn, right? That's just the reality of it. It's kind of reminds me something a bit of what Vitalik said, in terms of now that cryptocurrencies have this massively inflated value, it's like, have they earned it? And I think he's right to ask that question, because the answer for most is no. Whereas I'm more convinced with Steem that its valuation is earned. And if you look at its valuation compared to its competitors in the space they operate, i.e. the social media space, it's either got a fair valuation or maybe perhaps overvaluated in terms of its competitors in that space and its traction. So so that just got me thinking a little bit about perspective, and just how far actually Steem has come in the last 12 months. Because 12 months ago, the sentiment around Steem was really quite low. I had a look back on CoinMarketCap and some of the historical data, and the price of Steem then was, the market cap of Steem then was around $37 million. Today it's at $500 million, so that's huge. And the coin supply hasn't gone up much in that time, so everybody that's been holding their coins have benefited greatly in that time. The amount of liquidity on the market has gone up. So the liquidity back then was under $100,000. It was around $60,000. Today the liquidity on the market is kind of $4 million a day. So even though it feels relative to some of the new coins that have come out in the past year and some of the old coins that are pumping at the moment, it feels like Steem might be standing still. It hasn't been standing still. It's had its pumps. It's maintained a lot of that dollar value. But look, Bitcoin's clearing everything at the moment and has been since around June of this year. That was almost the height of the altcoin pump, and then Bitcoin has pumped since June, and then the altcoins have all kind of dropped off relative to Bitcoin. And it's kind of like it was a year ago. But then what we saw was that kind of come March, April, the altcoins took off and went on a tenfold increase. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen in 2018, but I guess what I am saying is that sometimes this game, it requires a little bit of patience, particularly around valuations and prices and all that jazz. But yeah, just my perspective on Steem at the moment is quite positive. You know, there's a lot of development going on, lots of new initiatives going on. We still have communities to come, we still have SMTs to come. We'll see what that does for the platform. But I try not to compare Steem to any other cryptocurrency, and it's not from a biased perspective, because look, I'm doing this video and I'm doing it on Steem, right? All I'm doing on the other coins is literally just trading and looking at valuations. That's just the real of it. You know, if I'm sending stuff back and forth, if I'm doing any transactions, it's really in relation to trading. Whereas with Steem, you know, I'm doing transactions, I'm doing giveaways, I'm doing, you know, my posts are transactions, my upvotes are transactions, you know, I'm transacting virtually daily, like it's part of my daily routine. So it's a unique case, and it won't behave like the other coins. And you know, logic doesn't rule the day when it comes to cryptocurrencies, as we can see with the euphoria that's happening at the moment, and the kind of crazy money that's going on, and the pumps on things like, you know, even Steem dollars was crazy, right? So yeah, so I guess my message to anybody that's involved in Steem and that is invested in Steem is that you're going to need a different level of patience, and you're going to need to just look at it differently and almost turn a blind eye to what's happening in the rest of the crypto market, because I don't necessarily think it's going to apply to Steem, and that might be positive and it might be negative. That's just the way it is. Anyway, lots to do today. Getting ready to pack as I'll be traveling. But yeah, I'll tell you about that in future videos, and I will speak to you soon.